Hey everybody, I'm Jesse Dollemore, as you may well know, and I'm the twice and sometimes three times weekly host of the podcast I Doubt It with Dollemore. We talk about, with our audience through voicemail and voice memo, in a lot greater detail, the cultural and political topics that I hope are important to you. I hope that you will visit Dollemore.com and subscribe to the show, which is on iTunes and Google Play Music, and join us in moving the conversation forward on an episode-by-episode basis. Anyway, we welcome your contribution. A couple of days ago, I discussed the prepared white supremacist remarks of Laura Ingraham on her prime-time Fox News show, The Ingram Angle. I talked about how she was subtly trying to soft-pedal white supremacist views, that she was trying to make palatable the disgusting and reprehensible views of not only herself, but human potholes like Jared Taylor, David Duke, and Richard Spencer. Men who are, they themselves, sickening racists trying to rationalize themselves as better and superior to black and brown people all over the world, better by virtue of the color of their skin, not the content of their character. As you may recall, I talked about Ingram's toxic, naked, racist remarks regarding the changes in American demographics, and decried her false narrative of American history upon which those remarks depended. Well, after her hateful, fear-mongering remarks blew up in her face, she tried to walk it all back, specifically denouncing David Duke, and argued that the reaction to her comments were nothing but distortions, and that she merely meant the comment on the shared goal of keeping America safe and prosperous. Take a look.
I want to start tonight by addressing my commentary at the top of last night's show. A message to those who are distorting my views, including all white nationalists and especially one racist freak whose name I will not even mention. You do not have my support, you don't represent my views, and you are antithetical to the beliefs I hold dear. The purpose of last night's angle was to point out that the rule of law, meaning secure borders, is something that used to bind our country together. And despite what some may be contending, I made explicitly clear that my commentary had nothing to do with race or ethnicity, but rather a shared goal of keeping America safe and her citizens safe and prosperous.
Well, that, my friends, is not only a retreat into the familiar dog whistle, plausible deniability to which we've all grown accustomed, but an insult to the intelligence of her critics and viewers alike. A familiar Orwellian attempt for people to disregard the evidence they perceive with their eyes and their ears, and to believe, rather, that she said something that she in fact did not say. Let's revisit her words one more time, this time with her denouncement of the effects of legal immigration.
Because in some parts of the country, it does seem like the America that we know and love doesn't exist anymore. Massive demographic changes have been foisted upon the American people. And they're changes that none of us ever voted for and most of us don't like. From Virginia to California, we see stark examples of how radically, in some ways, the country has changed. Now, much of this is related to both illegal and, in some cases, legal immigration that, of course, progressives love.
So, despite Laura Ingram's weak-ass walkback, and in spite of the content of her original hateful remarks that you just watched again, she wants you to believe she was merely talking about the effects of illegal immigration, when she specifically included legal immigration in her screed, and when she lamented changing demographics, as she put it, and when she showcased images of hard-working migrant farm workers toiling away on American soil, doing the work that Americans have demonstrated for generations they are largely unwilling to do. Some, including Ingram herself, implicitly have pushed back, saying that she never explicitly mentioned race. While this is technically true, but the fact remains that there exists no other plausible explanation for her use of the term demographics. Alternative explanations are rendered completely implausible by her inclusion of legal immigration. We can even grant that MAGA Americans are comfortable with people with darker shades of skin, so long as they dress like them and act like them, speak like them, think like them. Strip every bit of their unique, beautiful Mexican, Central, and South American identity and culture, and outfit them with a red trucker hat and a Confederate flag, and you're good to go. The truth is that this is indistinguishable from straight skin tone racism, and ultimately has the same toxic, oppressive effects. Listen though, Fox News has been wading out of the kiddie pool of dog whistles and into the deeper, darker waters of outright white supremacy for a while. The fact of the matter is, Fox News is the network of Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has made bigotry and hate fashionable again, consistently punching down at people who have less power than he does, and trying to persuade people that those who have almost no institutional power are responsible for all of the institutional problems of the United States. This isn't merely a Laura Ingraham problem. This is a Fox News problem. A Fox News problem because Laura Ingraham isn't the only one who is selling this garbage on their program on an almost nightly basis. I submit to you what should be their official mascot, the lukewarm, soggy cornhusk, Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson has been courting the white supremacy audience for a few months now, making David Duke-style arguments on his prime-time Fox News show. Tucker Carlson has spent months using similar language to that of recognizable white supremacists, doing segments on defending Western civilization, which is not even good secret code for white people. He's lamented the changing demographics of the United States, which is exactly what race hustlers like Richard Spencer call white genocide. And he has even stoked paranoia in his audience by claiming that Democrats are pushing America into another civil war. While Laura Ingraham and Tucker Carlson should be ashamed of this reprehensible, un-American behavior, they and the executives of Fox News they're not ignorant to the terrible effect that they're having on the American discourse. Hell, their paychecks depend upon that effect. The political winds have shifted toward explicit racism, and the talking heads at Fox News seem to be eagerly champing at the bit to stake their claim as the leaders of what they hope to forge into a new and socially acceptable movement of white supremacy. We are better than this. I sincerely believe that. I still believe in America, despite the fact that half of this country is either playing footsie with or full on in bed with white supremacists. I really hope you believe it too, and I'm counting on you to vote this November. Please demonstrate to these Fox News moral idiots that racism will not be profitable in the long run, and disempower this toxicity.